MSPs on the Scottish Parliament's Health Committee have demanded the First Minister set out a timetable for when the Scottish Government will deal with the Cass review. Humza Yousaf has been told to urgently clarify his government's position on the DAMNlNG Cass review amid concerns about the impact it has on children's rights. He has also been urged to order a comprehensive impact assessment into health services for transgender children in Scotland. The SNP executive has been blasted for its slow response to dealing with the report from eminent Dr. Hilary Cass, as it has repeatedly refused requests to make a ministerial statement, or even answer questions publicly about it. Instead, ministers have insisted that they need more time to read it. However, a decision was made by NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde and NHS Lothian to stop prescribing puberty blockers to kids aged under 18 after the Cass report claimed the rationale for early puberty suppression remains unclear, with weak evidence regarding the impact on gender dysphoria, mental or psychosocial health. It means that the Sandyford Clinic in Glasgow will no longer give out the drugs until a full review takes place, as it is the only premises north of the border that deals with gender identity issues among children. This has been met by a pushback from trans charities and organisations, with a protest held in George Square on Thursday night. The puberty blockers pause also caused a ruckus within the Scottish Greens, who are coalition partners with the SNP, with the Bute House agreement now under threat. Claims have been made by the LGBT wing of the party that the Cass review was an internationally discredited social murder charter. Holyrood's Education, Children and Young People Committee has written to Mr Yousaf to add to the pressure on the SNP ministers to finally set out their plans after weeks of delaying. The letter stated that the Cass review has brought to light significant concerns about the way in which trans, non-binary and gender-questioning children and young people access gender identity services in England, and the evidence that underpins current practices. It adds, the committee recognises that there will undoubtedly be parallels between services in England and those currently provided to children and young people in Scotland. Clarity is urgently required as to how the Scottish Government intends to take forward the report's findings in a Scottish context. The committee is aware that this is an evolving situation and notes the changes to arrangements for new patients accessing puberty-blocking medication in Scotland which were announced yesterday. One SNP minister, George Adam, suggested earlier this week that the review was only suited to English patients and not Scottish. But the MSPs on the committee pointed out that a failure to urgently assess the Cass report could damage children's rights north of the border, as it raises many complex, and sometimes competing, children's rights considerations which require urgent exploration. They called for a comprehensive children's rights and well-being impact assessment to ensure these matters are explored fully and to ensure the rights of all children and young people across Scotland are safeguarded.